Hi, I'm Lore from TankSpot and welcome back to the Trial of the Crusader raid guide. In this video I'll be discussing the Twin Valkyr, the fourth encounter available in the Colosseum raid instance. Before the pull you should separate out your DPS into two roughly equal groups, preferably with a mix of melee and range classes in each. One group will be assigned primarily to Aegis Darkbane and the other to Fiola Lightbane. Once the fight begins, 4 portals will spawn around the room, 2 light and 2 dark. Using these portals will give you a buff called either Light or Dark Essence, which does two things: absorbs all damage of the same type and increases your damage done to the Valkyr of the opposite type. So at the start of the fight everyone should click the portal of the opposite type of the Valkyr they're assigned to, Light Portal for Darkbane and Dark Portal for Lightbane. Healers should click a portal at the start as well, but the color doesn't really matter. Periodically throughout the fight, several small light and dark orbs will appear at the edges of the room and begin to float around. These will explode when touched and deal a moderate amount of the appropriate damage type in a short radius. This damage can be absorbed by players with the same essence as the orbs, so when they spawn, everyone should quickly absorb any nearby same color orbs. Aside from keeping those orbs from hitting other players, anytime light or dark damage is absorbed by your essence, you'll receive a stacking debuff called Powering Up. Once Powering Up reaches 100 stacks, you'll get a short-term buff that gives you 100% increased damage to the opposite type. About every 45 seconds, one of the two Valkyr will use one of 2 random special abilities, one of which is Twins Pact. This is a powerful heal that will restore a very large amount of HP to both Valkyr if successfully cast. It needs to be interrupted quickly, but in order to do that you'll have to break through a damage shield that the twin casting the spell will put up beforehand. All ranged DPS who aren't currently attacking that twin should change their essence and switch targets until the shield is broken. Once the shield is down and the heal is interrupted, they can move back to their assigned target. The second special ability will be either a light or dark vortex depending on which twin is casting it. This is a raid-wide AoE that deals several pulses of the appropriate damage type. Everyone who is currently using the opposite essence will need to change quickly to absorb the damage. Note that this will increase your powering up stacks, so DPS who are close to hitting 100 stacks and need to change essence may want to consider moving over to the other twin temporarily. Otherwise, just change back when the AoE finishes. Note that the twins have a shared health pool. Any damage done to one will be taken by both. The reason we spread the raid out between light and dark essence isn't specifically to split DPS, but to make sure there's enough of each to absorb all of the orbs that come out and keep from having the entire raid switching essence at the same time for a vortex or twins pact. It's also important to note that the twins can absorb orbs and will gain the damage buff if they absorb enough of them. This is why we have the raid relatively spread around the room, to make sure all of the orbs get picked up before they get to one of the Valkyr. In this kill we have the twins positioned roughly evenly between the 2 portals on either side. If you prefer, you can tank them near a portal of the same color. This will make it easy for melee and tanks to change colors quickly if needed, but they'll have a longer run to get to the other portal and change back. We found it simpler to keep them in a more central location. Ultimately, the positioning doesn't matter as much as simply understanding the mechanics of the encounter and how to deal with them. Once you've got it all figured out, it's just a matter of execution. It's also worth mentioning that the light and dark damage is affected by resistances. Dark abilities deal shadow damage, and light abilities deal fire damage. Most of the dark and light damage should be getting absorbed by players using the proper essences, but accidents can happen, and shadow or fire resistance buffs and auras can help create a little extra margin for error. Thanks for watching this video. As always, if you'd like more information on this or any other encounter, check the Project Marmot forums at tankspot.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, just follow the link in the movie details. Good luck!